Human Rights Festival is a 4-day celebration taking place at the historic Constitution Hill. Now, this festival is a powerful homage to the ongoing fight for human dignity, justice and equality, bringing together artists, activists and community members to reflect on the struggles and triumphs that have shaped our society. Among the festival's highlights is an extraordinary exhibition by the talented artist Kgosi Gift titled the Winnie Mandela Expo. The installation pays tribute to the indomitable spirit of Winnie Mandela, exploring the nuances of her legacy and the myriad challenges she faced. For more, we're joined by Heritage, Education, Tourism and Creative Hub Programs Manager Reuben, Phasha and Kgosi Gift. Gents, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, Reuben, we're just speaking off camera how the National School of the Arts is just across the road. In fact, it's just a few minutes from the Constitution Hill. Maybe let's just talk about the significance of hosting the Human Rights Festival at Con Hill, particularly in relation to South Africa's history, as just yesterday we were celebrating Human Rights Day.
Yes, it's amazing. I mean, this festival is commemorating the Sharpeville Massacre, 21 March 1960. It's significant to host this festival in South Africa first, just before we even talk about Constitution Hill. I mean, we had a culture of liberation. This human rights was fought for by a lot of people, and our Constitution, a preamble of the Constitution say, we the people of South Africa, recognizing the injustices of our past, honor those who suffered for freedom and justice in our land. And this constitution has a court right here in Braamfontein, the Constitutional Court. And this Constitutional Court is in a precinct called Constitution Hill. So it is very right for us to host this festival there. And it is happening when the court is also celebrating 30 years this year. And it's also happening when this Constitution Hill prison has just turned and got a World Heritage Site status. So the Human Rights Festival brings together over 100 human rights organizations. And going back to the honoring the people, we're honoring Mam Winnie Mandela as an icon that fought for the liberation of South Africa, but was also an ex-prisoner of Constitution Hill while it was a prison. So it is very fitting for us to then honor her and have this Human Rights Festival. So we've created a program and put under the website www.humanrightsfestival.co.za, where you can see what is happening in all of the days of the festival. I mean, today it's a music concert. And tomorrow we are walking 8-kilometer walk from Con Hill, Newtown, and we're passing NSA that was just here, a school that we work very close with. And I'm happy to see that there's a level of activism in young people that interfaces with the work that we do. Coming back to Constitution Hill, that 8-kilometer walk ends back at Constitution Hill. There's a lot to see. There's exhibitions, expos, but I want us to focus more on Mam Winnie Mandela. Why are we honoring her with this festival? Yes, everybody's welcome to come to Con Hill. Today, it's a free festival. Bandisi Janchis is a very big artist. There's DJs like Simi, Why You Asking Me Band, Gidineo. There's a whole fun-packed performance art within the festival. But Winnie Mandela is why we're here. We launched the festival with a memorial lecture dedicating it to her by Lebogang Maile, the MEC of Economic Development, Gauteng. And we started with the walkthrough of the exhibition that Gift Kgosi has started as a permanent exhibition for Con Hill. But
maybe let me just engage you, Gift. Maybe what you can take us through what really inspired you to create this particular piece, the Winnie Mandela Expo, and how do you think it reflects Winnie Mandela's legacy?
Look, it's a big task to do a costume collective of Winnie Mandela. It's not like being tasked to do a costume collective of a fictional character. This is somebody that existed. People have different opinions of Mama Winnie. And I think it's so layered. And because, like I said it before, because it was so layered, it became somewhat easy for me to draw pull from all of my research and what I found out. But would it ever be perfect? I have never met Mama. You know, I'm still those who just read about her. I don't personally know her. So I found myself in the process to really become a little bit uncertain, because to me it's like, how do I design for Mama Winnie when there are people who actually has experienced that? Am I going to design from the intention? Ensure that you design in a way that it's understood by those who come and see it, because then they have to recognize Mama Winnie. Or do I maybe just fall into a space where I know, look, you'll never get it the way it's supposed to be because you've never met Mama. You do know, the impact that she had, and you do understand her force, but that in itself is objective. So I really allowed myself as an artist to really just bask in letting the artist be awake and looking at the human being, because she was not just a phenomenal activist, but a phenomenal human being, because we all have that. We are all uncertain, but we're also brave, and that's what people speak. When they speak of Mama, they speak of bravery. They speak of she was just who she was. They speak of community, and in the interview, she speaks about community so well.
It's quite interesting that you say that, because, in as much as so many people have never really met her in person, but her level of influence and her legacy will trigger each one of us to engage in whatever act of activism, to help the next person. Let's talk about maybe the different elements of your exhibition. How do costume, art, sound, and lighting come together to tell Mama Winnie Mandela's story?
Look, from a curatorial perspective, it's important that people need to understand when costumes find its space in a gallery, there are certain principles that you need to really pay attention to. But I think for me it was so important because it's a theatrical experience of Mama Winnie. It's very fantasy. It's imaginative. So I'm allowing a lot of room for people to perceive it the way they do, and not necessarily this is how it's supposed to be. And because of that, I have a conversation between Mama Winnie and Gift Kgosi as the artist, where I am uncertain, and I'm hoping she gives me answers to it. So that forms the I guess the theatrical part of it. That will come through a lot today, because that's when we're doing the actual walkabout where I would be there and explaining it to the people. But that in itself is the theatrical process. So it's a very fantasy world where I know you're not going to blame me and say, but that did not look like Winnie, right? You would look at it and be like, okay, this is a new world. But it was important for me to allow a new room, because it's also important for me to ensure that if I have some sort of a contribution to changing a narrative, or not just the linear narrative of Mama Winnie, for the younger ones, you needed to find a way that it would cross over. We don't just want to hear pain, and we're not dismaying that. We don't just want to hear a rigid, painful story that became victorious. We want to hear the human part. What does Winnie have that we have? And I wanted to highlight that, the mother of the nation, that we all kind of have something that she has.
Reuben, let me also bring you in. In as much as Human Rights Day was triggered, by the events leading to the Sharpeville massacre in the 1960s, but let's talk about some of the programs or initiatives that are introduced, to engage young people in schools about the human rights, because human rights is still an ongoing discussion.
Yeah, it is an ongoing discussion, and I think we need to have it an annual program. The Human Rights Festival is just a catalyst to get the education going. Within the festival, it's a family-friendly festival. Let me start there. Yes. I mean, you can bring your children to the festival, and they will have their own educational component of the festival. We at Constitution Hill have developed a curriculum-linked programs that educates on human rights annually, but within the festival is an opportunity to get a one-stop shop experience of human rights education. All the social justice organizations, over 80 of them that are there, are educating people on their rights. I mean, we get spam calls every day. It's human rights abuse. People don't know that. But you can go there. I mean, I'm just making a silly example, but you can go there to learn about even serious rights. I mean, children are getting bullied at school, and we don't even know that. I mean, and they don't even know that it's wrong, it's a crime. We just patronize it, and we just romanticize it and say it's just bullying. But this is human rights being oppressed. This festival brings that opportunity for people to learn. Going back to Gift, Winnie Mandela, where Gift's exhibition is where she, in a women's jail where she was arrested, in the atrium that was sacred according to the prisoners, that black women were not supposed to cross. She was the first person to cross that.
And I guess the legacy of Mama Winnie is a human rights story that we are celebrating
We
today.
want people who attend this to become an activist.
We're out of time, but great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, that was Reuben, Phasha and Kgosi Gift talking to us about the Human Rights Festival that started this past Thursday and ends tomorrow.